The Blessed Callistus, Patriarch, Texts on Prayer, from Writings from the Philokalia on Prayer of the Heart, page 271. If you wish to praise you ought, imitate the dulcimer player, bending his head a little and inclining his ear to the strings. He strikes the strings skillfully and enjoys the melody he draws from the harmonious notes. Is this example clear to you? The dulcimer is the heart, the strings, the feelings, the hammer, remembrance of God, the player, mind. By remembrance of God and of divine things, the mind draws holy feelings from the God-fearing heart. Then ineffable sweetness fills the soul, and the mind, which is pure, is lit up by divine illuminations. The dulcimer player perceives and hears nothing but the melody he enjoys. So the mind, during active prayer, descends into the depths of the heart with sobriety and can no longer listen to aught but God. All his inner being speaks to God with the voice of David, "My soul followeth hard after thee." If we do not bar our bodily senses, the fountain of that water which the Lord promised to the woman of Samaria will not gush forth in us. This woman, seeking physical water, found the water of life flowing within her. For as the earth by nature contains water, which it pours forth as soon as an outlet is opened, so the earth of the heart by nature contains the spiritual water, which gushes forth as soon as this becomes possible, like the light which our forefather Adam lost through transgression. As physical water flows from its source, so the living water, gushing forth from the soul as soon as it is opened, never ceases to flow. Flowing in the soul of the holy man Ignatius, it urged him to say, "There is in me no matter-loving fire," which is feeding on matter, "but water acts and speaks in me." This blessed, or rather thrice blessed water, I mean mental sobriety of the soul, is like water gushing forth from the bowels of the earth. Water flowing from the source of the stream fills the stream. The water which gushes forth in the heart and is always, as it were, moved by the Spirit, fills the whole of the inner man with divine dew and renders the outer man fiery. Purified of everything external, and having entirely mastered the senses by active virtue, the mind rests unmoving within the heart, its vision established in the center. There it receives mental illuminations like flashes of lightning, and thus collects divine understanding. Let none of the uninitiated or those who have, quote, need of milk, from Hebrews, touch it, for this is something that is forbidden to touch before its time. The attempts of those who try to obtain before its time that which comes in its own time, and who strive to force their way into the harbor of passionlessness without due preparation, are called by the Holy Fathers madness, for he who knows no letters cannot read books. Movements produced in the soul by the divine Spirit as a result of efforts make the heart quiet and urge it to call out constantly, "Abba, Father." This is not accompanied by any imaginings, but is devoid of all images. But we ourselves become then transformed by the dawning of divine light, which endows us with an image in keeping with the burning of the divine Spirit. More than that, it changes and alters us by divine power. How? He only knows. If a mind purified by sobriety is not freed from everything external by constant memory of Jesus, it is easily darkened. Equally, a man who has joined contemplation or guarding the mind with active practice does not refute rumors about himself, nor turn away from talk about himself, whether open or hidden, for only a soul sick with divine love for Christ follows hard after him alone, like a brother. According to the prophet, be still and know. It is possible to curb carnal passions and their upsurgings, and to become wisely still from them, even while living in the world. But to wipe them out and annihilate them is impossible. Life in the desert, however, manifestly has the power to uproot them. Some living or running waters flow fast. Others are slow and calm. The former, flowing swiftly, cannot remain muddy for long, and even if at times they become slightly muddied, their movement soon clears them again. But if the flow of water changes and becomes very slow, it is easily muddied, and remains largely so through its immobility, and the only way to clear it is to make it flow faster. The devil approaches beginners, those who are training in virtues and those who are active, with clear or unclear sounds. He approaches contemplatives by producing certain fantasies, at times coloring the air to resemble light, at others producing flame-like forms, in order thus to tempt the worker in Christ. If you wish to learn how to pray, keep your gaze fixed on the end of attention or of prayer. This end is adoration, contrition of the heart, love of neighbor. It is self-evident that lustful thoughts, whisperings of slander, hatred of one's neighbor, and similar things are opposed to it. All this is incompatible with the work of prayer.